Hi guys, this is Dormouse03.
And I'm Iron Praetorian.
Welcome to another Ramblings of Mad People. As promised, we are doing this a little bit
More
sooner.
regularly, which is nice because it means it's not so long, so editing is easier, and B, we actually remember what we've played and haven't played like 20 games and forgotten the first 15.
Exactly. Except I've sort of forgotten Costume Quest too. Except Candy Corn.
Yes. I think that's where you should start.
Yeah. So, I guess directly after the last one that we recorded, I played Costume Quest 2, which was a cute little game. It had a lot of good humor in it.
It really did.
And the story was interesting. It's a Double Fine game, I believe.
I don't know who the creators are, I just know that I had fun playing it. I think I played it about this time last year.
Yeah. I got it almost a year ago. I think we got it at the same time. It was on sale at Halloween last year. And so it took me this long to get around to it.
I think I was a little bit off on when I thought I played it, I guess.
Yeah. You played it in October last year, probably.
Probably,
or early November, depending.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, just you go around trick-or-treating and try to save the world from the dentist.
Yeah.
Who's gone mad.
It's a nice simple plot. Time travel, dentists, and candy.
Yes. Time travel, dentists, and candy. And trick-or-treating. And doing little battles, like Pokemon style. Kind of.
Maybe. I would say more like some kind of turn-based RPG.
Yeah, I guess that's right. That's more correct.
Because in Pokemon you tend to do 1-on-1, and this is like 3-on-3. You can do 3-on-3 battles now, but they were introduced in like Gen 5 or something. I can't remember, but it's something like that.
Anyway, point being, it's a turn-based thing where you and your characters take turns doing an attack, and you have little costumes, and each costume has a different type of attack, and
I guess the type things works with Pokemon, so they have...
Yeah.
Each type is strong against one, neutral against another, and weak against another.
Mm-hmm. And they each have their little super that they can do once you build up the super meter.
Once you charge it up, you get those fun, awesome abilities.
Mm-hmm. The nuclear declaration of independence and the
dive bombing eggs from the pterodactyl.
Yeah,
and it puts on a little bomber helmet with the goggles on.
And I liked the one from the solar system where it's like missiles from space
destroy a planet, and then they hit the other side.
Yep.
I like the clown one as well. It was the heal one, but it like throws a banana skin on the floor and trips over it, and then it like somehow magically heals your party.
Right, because laughter is the best medicine.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that was what it was called, actually. The laughter is the best medicine power or something like that. And so,
and who knew that the horn owned by a clown is a musical instrument?
Well, apparently it goes with jazz.
Apparently,
according to this game. So, and then in doing all the achievements for it, you have to use candy corn as one of your costumes in every single fight.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It makes it. It's called hard corn because it's supposed to be more hardcore. Because basically, one of your characters doesn't do anything. So whoever's wearing the candy corn costume,
he is a bit of a tank, and everyone aggroes on him.
That's
true.
So
it's like he does have his uses, but if he hadn't have been as entertaining, I think we would have got more annoyed.
Right, it'd be like, why do I have to have this damn candy corn in my party? But every time he takes a turn, it comes up with a little, like, funny snippet. Quote, candy corn doesn't listen to the haters.
Candy corn does nothing.
Corn?
Candy corn's looking for a weakness.
Candy corn is looking for a weakness.
Or a weak spot or something like that.
Candy corn is a pacifist. Just funny little things, and so it made it amusing while you are sort of down a party member for attacks. So that was cool. Yeah, it was a cute little game, and definitely I'd recommend it. It was free with Games with Gold a couple months ago.
Yeah,
so
it was.
Anybody who got it with that, definitely worth a play and getting it for
it's
free.
short if you're looking for something quick.
Yes. Indeed. It'll probably take 6 to 8 hours or so.
Yeah, I would say so. Like, if you want to play it over a weekend and you're not doing anything else, you'll get it done probably like halfway through the Sunday.
Yep, indeed. So, what was your first thing on your list?
My first was Halo 5's DLC. Well, we start off with Score Attack, which had reasonable achievements, which is all we really care about, and was fine, and got done in half an hour. And I did it twice because I helped you and I helped another friend because there was a co-op achievement. That was fine. Score Attack, when it's done well and works like it did this time, perfectly adequate. Their new firefight. I nearly said new matchmaking. Their new firefight mode is terrible. It's basically like Warzone for Halo 5, which is basically like big team battle, and you also have other enemies. But this like normal enemies that you'd face in the campaign. But this time they basically made it one team fighting a bunch of enemies from the campaign in waves, and you have to do different things like kill X number of these bosses,
protect defend a base
for X amount of minutes, or just kill like X number of enemies.
Yep.
And it was so boring and so unbalanced. And then they made it so
far too many enemies.
There was this one level where we were defending an armory on the third wave against Prometheans, and every time we got that wave, we'd fail. Hands down failed, just failed every time. Whether we were in the building, like from the start, and like all defending each other, fail. They did so much damage, there was too many of them. And also the fact being is that they had a free Halo 5 weekend that weekend because it released. And I have a feeling that we always had at least one or two people that had no idea what they were doing. Like trying to run you over.
Had never played the game before.
Run you over or try and shoulder charge the person that picked up the turret because I want the turret. It's just... And then the achievements. You had to completely finish like wave 5 times,
yeah. Which was...
Tedious.
Yeah, it was tedious.
And then you also...
Because it felt almost luck-based sometimes.
It really was luck-based.
You'd be doing well, and then all of a sudden there'd be one enemy on the top of a building or something where you couldn't really get to him, and he'd regen his health. So you do a little bit of damage to him, then you die because there are 1,000 enemies and they all do a ton of damage and nobody's helping you. And then, or they're all respawning, right? And then by the time they get there, your teammates get there, all their health is back. And it's like you did nothing.
Or like you'd be waiting for your rec, which is like your requisition points to build up to the point at which you could get a good heavy weapon or a tank. And there'd be like 30 seconds left on the clock. So you'd be doing a ton of damage and run out of time. Then they added mythic bosses in. So they have normal bosses, which are white. Legendary bosses, which are yellow. Which were like the big bosses in Big Team in Warzone. And then they added a new tier of bosses called mythic bosses, which appear at the end of round 5. And sometimes there's multiples of them. And they're so damn hard to kill. And so
there's like 3 Warden Eternals or something.
Thankfully, we got that done like the first day we tried it, or the second day we tried it. I think it was the Sunday.
The second day.
Yeah, so second day. But basically, we had 4 or 5 Scorpion tanks and at least 2 Banshees, because I was in one Banshee and there was another guy. And I was like, my heart was racing because I was like, please don't die. Please don't die. Because if you die, and even if you've done like loads
how
of
much damage you've done,
if you don't respawn and get some more damage on him, it doesn't count. Because I would have got that mythic boss takedown in my first battle. I did without you, because I was waiting for you to finish something, I think, or eat,
We were waiting for it to install.
That was it, because it took mine, with my fairly good internet, a day and a half to install. It's just Halo 5 and the Master Chief Collection are probably the longest installs of any game I've owned. They're just bad. And the Master Chief Collection is on disc, which means it shouldn't take so damn long, but it's got like a 50 gigabyte update.
Right.
And then all the DLC packs. But anyway, Halo 5, score attack, fine.
Yep.
Matchmaking,
for those types of modes,
not matchmaking, firefight, what have you done to the game mode that I really enjoyed from Reach and ODST? I want that back. I don't want this 8 people versus Annihilation.
Yeah, it's kind of... It's just like this weird bastardization of Firefight and Warzone. In fact, I don't know that I'd even call it Firefight. It's just so different from what the original was that it's nonsense. It's basically just Warzone without the PvP.
Yeah, it's PvE Warzone.
So, anyway, it was bad. I don't know, things like that, DLC like that,
puts me off.
To be fair, it was free, but
it was free.
So
crap.
it was a title update, but why do you need to put achievements on there that are that ridiculous? They should be play a match, or play 5 matches, or get to wave 3, or something like that.
Reasonable things with the fact that it's with random people and you're unlikely to have 8 friends all together at once to be able to play it. It's like a raid, but worse, because you need an extra 2 people. Like a raid on Destiny, you need 6. It's like, that's bad enough, and then you've got to try and get 8. I mean, if you're in a clan, that's fine. But obviously for people like us where we just pick it up once in a while to get some achievements, or, if we just want to play it.
Right.
Which doesn't happen for you, but happens for me because I run out of games from time to time, so I'll hop back on old stuff.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like online achievements, those multiplayer achievements, should be things that are fairly simple to do that just encourage you to try the different modes. That's all I think that they should be. There should be no get level 1,000 million. There should be no, finish this really hard, turdy thing that you're going to need to cooperate with 17 people and get lucky on.
Damn luck.
There should be no win on this map with this thing in this, in exactly 3 minutes and 31 seconds.
Well, the problem with the win on the map things is usually they're random. So you can be there for a minute or 3 days.
Yeah.
Right. I will quickly just say that I finally got my damn seriously achievement to unlock, which means I don't ever have to play that pile of turd multiplayer grind on Gears of War. My new 10,000 is actually 18,670 kills. And I'm not even looking at that, I just know it because I looked at that score so many times going, let's just make sure the counter shows up. So I need to work out how many kills don't count on the counter that's on my war journal, and then attempt to get the exact number of kills at the end of the match. But thank God that's over. I think that's what had basically made me die on the inside a little bit with achievements, was just sapping my soul like some sort of leech. It's like some sort of
we got it done
for
you in what, 2 weeks?
Yeah. It really it's just
because basically I just had my my one on
so
that you could get kills while I played on my 360.
Yeah, it's bad when you're getting 1,500 kills a day and you've spent 10, 12, 15 hours doing it non-stop and your eyes are crusted and bleeding, your thumbs have got early arthritis, you loathe your box and want to throw it under a car, under a train, you want to throw it in the black hole that I've consigned the Dunk Lurker to. It's just like, anyone that thought Seriously was a good idea is an idiot. Anyone that thought that Seriously 3.0 was a good idea is just plain insane.
Yeah. It's just these things that make you spend too... Because it's not as though it's hard. It wasn't hard. Grindy. It's just grind.
And then
for the sake of grind.
And then my luck of my box goes wrong and it turns out that it's tracked on the box and not online.
Yeah, for anybody who... Because I think you talked about this last time, but for anybody who didn't catch our last one, his Xbox One died. And
I had to send it off to be replaced.
Yeah.
And then when it came back, my achievement tracking had not been transferred.
For Gears.
And it didn't, and it did the same for Halo. It came up with the exact same thing. But obviously I had all the achievements. And then Halo 5, when I downloaded it, it did the exact same thinking thing where it was like, we can't sync properly. Do you want to sync to your last save? It was like, well, isn't that what you're already doing? Syncing to my last save? When really it should be worded as, your tracker's crap. And we're just gonna...
we can't track your stats anymore.
Yeah, and we're just gonna let you download your total stats that aren't tracked offline.
Yeah.
So, have fun with that. And we're not gonna offer you any support.
Nope.
Even though I did, go onto the forums and also send messages to the developers in the hope that someone would help me, but no such luck.
Because they don't care.
No, it's probably because they didn't break it themselves, so they don't care. And even when they do break it themselves, they don't care.
Because it's not a widespread... Because it's only affecting one person.
Yeah.
And so they just don't... They don't care about individual issues, even if you ask nicely.
Nope.
So, which, on the dev side of things, I kind of understand.
Because they can't make special treatment for everybody, but still frustrating.
Because they can't put all those resources into it. But for Microsoft, for certain things that are problems with Microsoft, like, they should have people who just support people with issues.
Yeah.
But
they really should, but they don't.
But they don't, because their Xbox Live support tech people are just
robots.
Random schmoes
who robots.
Don't really know anything.
They don't know anything. They tell you the same thing to do every time in the hope that it will fix it, and it never does. Because they don't understand what the problem is.
Right.
It's like, my achievement's done unlocking, which I need you to rescan. Oh, we don't have the ability to rescan, you just have to wait until the system does it. I had a friend who had 2 Dark Souls 2 achievements that took 4.5 months to unlock.
It's just stupid.
And the only reason I know how to unlock them is hours of troubleshooting on my own. From my own time.
Right. Well, and you know how to unlock them by playing the game again, basically.
Yeah, but that's the only way that I know of.
Yeah, it's the only sure way. Because
and you have
otherwise,
to delete your save.
You just wait. Otherwise, you just wait and hope that they'll unlock eventually.
And they will probably unlock eventually. Although, like your Gestures one for Dark Souls 3 and my Shadow of Mordor ones, there was no way they were ever going to unlock for me.
No. And the one for Dark Souls probably wouldn't have unlocked for me because it wasn't done unlocking. It was that weird 100% locked thing.
But thankfully the same method of deleting your save and then replaying the entire game again worked. Thank Christ.
Yikes. Anyway, we could complain about achievements forever.
So, what was your next game?
My next thing was... Well, technically my next thing was Mass Effect DLC.
Right, yeah. I persuaded you to buy the damn thing and get it done because it's $4.
Right, it was $5. But the last DLC for the original Mass Effect Pinnacle Station, I never got it because I knew it was going to be just kind of crap DLC. And I was hoping that eventually it would go on sale, but it's been like, I don't know, 6 years or so since I've been waiting for it to go on sale, and it hasn't.
And the point being is, I think last week or the week before, it was every other Mass Effect DLCs apart from Pinnacle Station and Bring Down the Sky, which Bring Down the Sky will never go on sale because it's like 50p.
Yeah, and Bring Down the Sky will never go on. And I already had Bring Down the Sky a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah.
When you see everything else is on sale, you realise that they're never going to put Pinnacle Station on sale. I don't know whether it's to do with the fact that it's a BioWare only DLC, and it was before EA owned the company, so maybe they don't have the rights to put it on sale, or some weirdness. Like they don't want to because it will cost them money to do so, or some legal crap. But the point being is, you've got it, you've done it, and it wasn't fun.
I mean, because the Mass Effect game has been on sale, so you would think if the game itself could be on sale, the DLC could also be on sale.
They just don't care about DLC.
They just don't want to put DLC on sale anymore. It's okay. So I got it, I played it, it was easy and short and stupid, and now Mass Effect Trilogy is complete 100%. So yay for that.
Coolness.
And then my next proper game was Assassin's Creed Rogue,
which you were playing while I was beating my head against the brick wall that is Seriously.
Yes. And so I was having much more fun than you were, I think. Rogue was really good. It was basically Black Flag over again.
Yeah,
but
pretty much.
With a different plot. And the plot was really good. I thought that both the historical stuff and the present day stuff, because it actually had present day stuff, which was good. Both of those things were interesting. And I won't say too much about it plot-wise because I don't want to spoil things for folks, but you know it's the Templar one, so it's the one where you play as the Templar. Yeah. And so it was interesting seeing that side of things and seeing someone who is looking at the world from that perspective, and so you get more insight into at least some of the Templars and what they're about. Because I think, just like the Assassins, it's all very nuanced. Like, there are different types of people within each, and they have different factions with different motivations. And so there are some people on both sides who are just trying to do the right thing. And
they
there
just
are
have
some
different
people...
methods for doing it. So it's like, we will help the world by controlling it and making it better. Whereas the Assassins are like, we will use free will to make it better and let people be who they want to be.
Right.
And it's
I think that there are pluses and minuses to both of those. I think an argument can be made for both. I think in the Assassin's Creed games, we've seen mostly the assassin side of things, and therefore you see more of the Templars, who are the kind of power-hungry fanatics.
Because they're the ones that you're removing because they're dangerous to your cause.
Exactly, and they're dangerous to the world. Whereas, you don't get to see the other side of things very often, where, there are assassins who are the same thing, except for the first game, where the main antagonist is not a Templar.
No. So. Well, he is.
It said he wasn't.
He's not a Templar?
In the material that you find in Rogue, like, you get to hack the things and you see the little bits of information about different people. Yeah. It said that although he has been credited for being a Templar, he was not actually.
So he was basically some sort of middle ground person that was using the Templars for a means to an end. So, like, he wanted the apple to control people. But he wasn't following the Templars, even though it sounded like he was working with them.
He was working with them, but he wasn't one himself.
Right. Cool.
So that was interesting. And yeah, it was cool to see, like, from the Templars' perspective, some of the different characters throughout the series. And there were a bunch of different characters from a few of the games in that made appearances in Rogue, which was cool to see. And I won't say who they are because I don't want to spoil that. But across a few different games, there were characters who appeared.
And the timeline for Rogue is it bridges between Black Flag and 3.
And 3.
So it's in between those two.
Yes.
Which I thought was...
In the historical sequence.
Yeah.
In the present day sequence, it comes after Black Flag?
After Black Flag, at the same... After Black Flag, and we're not sure where with Unity.
Right.
Because Unity had so little present day stuff, we don't know where it sits.
Exactly.
We know that Unity and Rogue probably happen around the same time, and they're before Syndicate.
Correct. So, it was interesting. I liked it. I would say it was quite a good Assassin's Creed title.
It was.
Far better than Unity.
That's why I said
which came
you
out
have
at
to
the
get
same
on and play
time.
this game, because, yeah. Unity by far is my least favourite DLC. Assassin's... I can't speak today, sorry guys. I keep getting things wrong. For whatever reason.
That's okay. But yeah, Unity, I think, is by far my least favorite of the... Like, I don't think Unity was a terrible game.
No,
because
but
it
in
wasn't.
the context of the Assassin's Creed games, it's not great.
It's the worst of the bunch, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to think the next one close to it would probably be 1. Because
maybe.
1 for me is just kind of like... It set out the universe, but it didn't have a lot of mechanics that the newer games have.
Right.
Like,
I would say Liberation is down along the bottom there as well, because it didn't have a lot of the same mechanics.
I guess Liberation would be on par with Unity for me. I wasn't thinking of Liberation as a title because it's an arcade title. Yeah,
well, because it was ported from the
it was a Vita.
PSP.
Oh, was it a PSP?
It's one of the two. I'm not sure.
I think you might be right. Yeah, I think it is PSP because it's older. Because Vita's like the one that about 17 people have now.
Right, and so because it was a port from the portable side of things, the mechanics just don't work the same or as well as the other games. But it's not like it was terrible either.
No,
the story was pretty good.
Wasn't. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It had a better story than Unity for me.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So, Rogue was good, and so for folks who've been fatigued with it but who enjoyed Black Flag, I would say Rogue would be a good one to pick up if you haven't.
Yeah, or Syndicate.
Or Syndicate. Well, Syndicate for sure.
Well,
but
Syndicate at the moment is on sale as well with the summer sale stuff. But I guess that'll be over by the time this comes out.
That'll be over by the time this comes out, for certain, so... Sadness.
Never mind.
You missed your chance. Nah, I mean, yeah, definitely Syndicate, but Syndicate doesn't have the ship stuff, so if you want more ship stuff, if you really liked Black Flag and you want more ship like naval combat,
you should play 3.
You should play Rogue.
Yeah, 3 does not have the best ship missions.
No, it does not.
That one where you had to like finish them off by ramming the man of wars. So you had to basically shoot them with the slowing down chain shot, and then like ram them, and then shoot them with chain shot again, and then ram them, and it's just like, really, why is this a thing? Why is there 2 of them?
Yeah. I will say, though, that last legendary ship in Rogue was an absolute turd. Like, I don't know.
I knew you were going to hate it. I was like, you could hear me like giggling in the background of...
Yeah, you were just evil. Like, it was just...
Not when you were doing it, but the fact that you were like, I had this last one to do, and I'm like, I'm just going to hear profuse swearing for the next 3 hours. There was profuse swearing for the next 3 hours.
Yeah. It was stupid.
I will say I did that one legit,
difficult.
But I found a cheese spot. Somehow. I'd like done it enough times to know that I could get kind of behind it, but not behind it, and it couldn't hit me. But yeah.
Yeah,
Storm Fortress, you can do
dumb.
one.
So dumb. Because, like, so I'll talk about Black Flag later, but I've also been doing Black Flag, and I did the legendary ships in that just yesterday, and like there were a couple of them that were a little bit irritating, but even the last one on that, it only took me about 5 or 6 attempts.
Was that was the Ram one, wouldn't it?
Yes, that was the one that liked to ram you.
Yeah, that one cheated on me so many times. Because I think they broke the AI.
It would just quick turn 90 degrees.
It would like pivot and then somehow like lift the front of itself out of the water and then ram you in the side from being in front of you with its back to you.
Yeah.
It's like, I'd like
ridiculous.
that ship, please.
I know, it was just super fast. But even so, even with it being dirty, it still only took me a few attempts to get it with my fully upgraded ship, and not terrible playing. So
I think the point being is, it's going to be bad when it says epic legendary ship in front of it. It's like they just made that so it was bad because
whenever something says epic legendary, what it really means is turdy cheat. We just made this ridiculously stupid. So dirty cheat. Oh god. Anyway, Rogue was fun. Aside from that ship battle, which you can, if it's your last one, you can use the invincibility cheat and still get the achievement. Wink, wink.
It just won't count. You won't be able to save.
Right, it won't count for your
challenge
completion or whatever, but that's not an achievement, so no one cares. Well, some people care.
I care.
I didn't care.
I wanted 100% completion in every Assassin's Creed game, and the only one denied to me is Unity because it has a stupid app that you need to play, which I'm not doing. Because A, I don't have a touchscreen laptop, and B, I don't own a smartphone. Yes, I'm a Neanderthal, get used to it. Me have club, me
God.
communicate by banging drum.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
So what was your next thing?
So after the fun and games that was seriously, I decided I was going to go back and replay the Mass Effect trilogy for fun because I needed something that I enjoyed. And then decided to make it interesting by making all the major choices on a random number generator. Or a dice, depending on whether I could be bothered to get the website up for random numbers.
Yeah, or I did the random number generation for you sometimes.
You did. And it was actually really fun. It was surprising how it turned out. I'm not going to go into details about the story or anything because I know some people that may be listening to this haven't played it yet. So
we're talking to you, Exonovit, you lazy loser.
I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah. You should definitely get on and play that so we don't inadvertently spoil it for you in Skype chat and then have to put random pictures to stop you reading it.
Yeah.
That was funny. But anyway, yeah, certain choices were made for me that ended badly.
It
Exceptionally
actually shocks me that you were able to make it through.
It was
the
really
whole thing.
I know, because it there comes to a bit at the end of Mass Effect 2, and for people who have played it, you know what I'm talking about. But basically, it didn't go well, shall we say.
It did not go well at all.
I don't know how I lived.
So much death.
So much death.
So much death and destruction. And so sad. It was just sad.
Yeah, because I positioned the laptop so you could watch me play it. Because I don't have a capture card. Hence, whenever we do co-op, there's none of my footage for that reason. So I positioned the laptop so that Dormouse could watch it, and she was more cut up than I was with what happened. Shh, can't say names.
Sadness. Yeah, I won't say names, but yeah, let's just say that a lot of the pretty much all of the characters that you ever met, you left in fiery destruction.
I will say that by the end of Mass Effect 3, there was one character left alive from Mass Effect 2. One.
One.
I saved the galaxy for one character. And there was one left from Mass Effect 1 that was killable in
Right.
commas.
Yeah. And how many from 3? How many of your, squad mates were left alive at the end?
6. No. 5. So, yeah, I had, 5 surviving squad mates from the entire game left at the end.
Yeah.
And the only reason I made it to the end with anyone alive is because of a masterful random number for the multiplayer in Mass Effect 3.
Right, because you rolled whether or not you would be able to do the multiplayer and what % you'd be able to get your war assets up to.
Well, basically what we did was we did a random number generator from 50 to 100%, and then you clicked the button, and it came out at 97, which I then decided was not what I wanted to get to because it would have taken 10 games or more, and I didn't really have the time.
And it wouldn't have given you any more endings anyway.
No, because of my war assets number. Because we can talk about war assets, it doesn't spoil anything.
That doesn't spoil anything.
Yeah, so, my effective military strength wouldn't have been high enough to get a different ending. So,
right.
That was fun. That was so much fun.
It was fun just listening to you say how things turned out and helping you do the rolls.
And the bit at the end of Mass Effect 2, I had inadvertently rolled wrong because I thought one character would be able to do a certain thing that they weren't able to do, so we had to redo the entire thing, which was a lot more fun because you were doing the random numbers.
As it was going along.
As it was going along, and watched it as it was going along. So because I know my Mass Effect 2 ending parameter stuff, I was like, yeah, that person's dead, and that one, and one of these two will be because of that person. It's sadness.
Dang it, that person! Why weren't you better?
Exactly. Why weren't the dice rolls more favourable?
Ah, dear.
It was good, and I would do it again.
Yeah.
We are going to go back and do Mass Effect, so I might do.
And I want to go back and do it soon because I want to play through all 3 of them before Andromeda.
So do I.
Yeah.
Again, properly.
Yep.
But I think
Indeed.
I might choose some maybe random class, random gender, random romance.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Or like I suggested when I'd finished, maybe you have a quarter of the decisions in every game. You can choose which way you want to go with them, but you only have a limited number of those. So you have to choose the right decisions that you want, and you're like, damn it, I chose badly, and I wasted that one because I didn't realise that another decision further down the line would mean that one doesn't make any difference.
Right. Yeah. Well, because a lot of things one decision leads to another thing. So you have to have made this decision and this decision and this decision in the same way in order to get the thing that you want.
Precisely.
So, yeah. A lot of outcomes take multiple variables.
So once that marathon was over, and the fact that I got it done in 4 days, I think.
Just madness.
Yeah, I think it took me 8 hours to get through Mass Effect 1, 10 to get through 2, and then 15 to get through 3. And maybe more than 15 because I did probably a couple of hours of multiplayer as well.
Mm-hmm. Yikes. So that was fun. So if any of you guys out there like Mass Effect or Dragon Age or any of those types of games, where you have different decision points, write out all the major decisions and then just use random number generation to make your choices for you and see how things turn out.
Yep. Some things happen that you do not expect. Or you're sat there going, please don't be a 1. Please don't be a 1. It's a 1. Damn it. I needed those guys.
Yep.
Can I defuse this bomb? No.
Nope. Can I talk this person out of this? Nope. Can I pick up this character? Nope.
Yeah.
Which planet do I go to first? Please don't let it be the hard one. It's the hard one.
Yes. Trying to talk about something without talking about something is just bad. We do apologise for this section, but we don't want to spoil things.
Right. So anyway, what'd you do after your Mass Effect marathon?
I finally got back into achievement hunting. So I played, because the July sale has been on, I picked up a few games from that. I picked up the Redux versions of Metro Last Light and Metro 2033, and I also, we also picked up Rise Son of Rome with all its DLC for a good price, and I also got the Xbox One version of Terraria, which I have on the 360. But they added a bunch of new stuff with a load of updates since, and I was like, well, it's basically like a new game at this point. You know, like enough content for it to be warranted as a new game, and it was like £5 or less. And I was like, sure, I'll pick it up. And it was fun. Again. A bit of mining, a bit of monster slaying, a bit of random running around new worlds trying to find random spawned items, which is probably the only downfall for that game, especially with the pets. They spawn so rarely that trying to get them on your own is just ridiculous, and the fact that some of them now are season based, so it'll be like the Halloween event in October will have an enemy that drops a pet, but you can only get it at that time. Saving grace though is that game has duplication glitch that's really easy to pull off. So basically what you do is you set your world to manual save only, invite a friend in, they pick up all of the items you want to duplicate, save and quit. You quit out the game without saving. Suddenly all your items are back in the chest and your friend's got a new set of lovely gear that they've just acquired magically. So that worked.
Nicked off of you.
Yeah, so I would a little shout out to my friend Jeff and his wife Erica, who helped me duplicate the pets because she had a world with them all in, and that was the only achievement I wouldn't have been able to get myself. So I did all the bosses again, and actually some of the new ones were fairly fun. And then I think there was one for like using all the crafting stations and stuff, so that was good. And there's different like different biomes you can get, and there's one called the Hallowed biome, which has like fairies and unicorns in it and stuff, and then there's the Corrupt biome, which has all like weird dead necro stuff in it. But you have to get a world that's 50% of each, so you have to have two worlds. But I'd already done that in the original Terraria, so they're the first two achievements I have in the game. It's like, get a Hallowed world and get a Corrupt world. And I was like, I don't care if it looks a bit weird. And it had save transfer from the 360, which was really nice, because I could bring my fully decked out character from the original game over, and then it wasn't so difficult to do anything. Especially mining when you've got a massive drill. So I was attempting to persuade you to get the Xbox One version, but you got Terraria for free on Games with Gold for the 360 anyway. So if you ever did get round to doing that, I would be quite happy to hop in and give you a hand or duplicate stuff. But it's a shame I can't transfer the save back with all the new pets to the 360.
I know. Yikes. I don't know. If I ever get around to that one, I have so many backlog
I think what we should do is
things.
get you to play it on an alt first.
Yeah, and see
to
if
see
I
whether
enjoy
you
it.
like it, because it is quite Minecrafty, 2D kind of.
Yeah.
And
The
you're not a big
aesthetics of
fan.
it look more attractive to me than Minecraft. I just don't enjoy Minecraft. I don't know. It's just
I think the thing with Terraria
deal.
is, for me and you, is it just reminds us of 2D games that we played on our old consoles, like the Mega Drive from our early era gaming. It's like, oh cool, it's 2D, I remember this stuff.
Yeah. And then you also played Night Squad, right?
Yes, I did play Night Squad.
So you didn't, to be clear about, you said Metro and all that stuff before, so you didn't play those.
No,
just
I was just saying that I bought them
so that you have
and I
some
played
stuff to play.
Terraria.
Yeah, and you played
And
Terraria.
we have Rise coming up as a co-op game at some point.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I decided to have another look through my games with gold list to see if there was any on there that I thought were reasonable that I could get done. And I think there was Strike Suit Zero, which is like some sort of small spacecraft combat thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was Night Squad, which is like a top-down little battle arena challenge mode, night-based combat thing. Except when knights get miniguns, I don't know, but that was a fun game mode. So basically it was called Juggernaut, and the Juggernaut would have a minigun, and he'd be killing the other players, and then whoever picked up the minigun became the Juggernaut. So what I did was I would grab the minigun and then go and hide at my spawn point, which is like a tiny little room with one door, so that the enemy would be funneled into the doorway, and I was just like sat there with the minigun ploughing them down. And it's funny when you see like you have a score of 4,000 and the nearest enemy has 36 points.
That's hilarious.
Because you get multiple points for getting multi-kills, and there was a couple of achievements for that game mode, I think. Or there was a couple of achievements that I got in that game mode, because I got the 1,000 kill one, because you were getting like 200 kills a match.
Yeah.
And also get a 7 enemy kill streak, which basically means that you had to kill all enemies within like a second of each other. Or like, because the spawns were really quick, they'd like run straight into your... They'd respawn and then be dead, kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
The challenge modes were a lot easier than the guides made out, because they now have an easy mode, which means that there was half as many enemies and they took half as many hits. So it was
nice.
like uber easy. So there was I think the first one was there was like a load of portals and a bunch of little undead skeletons would come out and you had to destroy the portals. And then the next one was a bunch of like trolls with massive shields that would charge at you, and if you got hit you'd die. So thankfully not having 4 of those on the map instead of 8 was a lot easier. And then there was another one with some dragons and stuff, but the achievements were really simple. It's like, do this challenge mode, or like do the 6 challenge modes, and then get X number of power-ups. So like get 8 minions on the board in a game at the same time, which basically meant you signed a guest in as the enemy, waited for the 2 power-ups to spawn in, and then pick them up. And then there was another one for like, I think, getting like triple speed or something. So if you have a guest controller, it was really simple to get the achievements, but it was fun and took me like 3 hours to complete.
Goodness.
And I played as the Purple Knight because, I don't know, I just felt like it.
Purple is an awesome color.
Oh, I think I know why. It's because when you click people, they do a little like animation, and he was playing his sword as an air guitar. So I was like, I'm playing as him.
Nice.
Air guitar sword man.
Very cool. And so your last thing
is
that you're still playing,
Blood
because
Money.
we're both still playing our last games. So
yeah, I'm trying to get through Blood Money for Hitman Blood Money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been like ongoing for about a month and a half at this point. I think Gears just broke me for achievements.
You just didn't want to do it.
It was like I had a month. I think last month I got like 1,800 gamer score or something like that, which is like the lowest month since you've known me. And like the month before that it was like 4,900 or something.
Right.
And now this month I'm up to 2,800 and we're 11 days in, according to me. I mean, it's 10 days in for you, but... The only trouble with Blood Money is having to play through the campaign 4 times on each different difficulty and then get Silent Assassin on 5 levels. And I did a little test to see whether you could get Silent Assassin on the same level 5 times, which is what you could do in the HD remakes of Contracts, and I think it was called Silent Assassin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you can't. So I had to do it on 5 separate levels after I'd done it 5 times on one level.
Yikes.
But it's fine, I know those levels fairly well now. The trouble with professional mode is you get no saves, so you have to do it in one run. So the shorter the level, the better.
Huh. Coolness. So you're in the process of doing Hitman, and
Yeah.
you finished up your first playthrough of it, correct?
I finished 2 playthroughs of it.
Oh, okay.
Literally
cool.
just before
What do you think of the game, other than having to play it several times?
The mechanics work fine. The only problem is sometimes you'll get a witness to something you did, but I can't figure out where this person saw me. But I think on one of the missions it's where you poison a cake and leave the room and go and wait by the exit for the person to be poisoned, and if the waiter's in the room with him, he'll see him die. So that's a witness to you killing him. And then in another one, there's a target that you have to have a cutscene with for her to become a target, and I killed her before, so she counts as a civilian, because you don't know she's the target.
Gotcha.
And I think another one, I was talking to someone in a room in a cutscene, and there wasn't anything I could do to move, and I think one of the guards walked past the door and saw me in there. And so I got a witness to that, because obviously I wasn't supposed to be in the room, but there isn't any way I can actually move or hide because I'm in a cutscene. So that one seemed a little bit annoying. But other than that, it's a Hitman game. It's a bit dated graphics-wise because I think it was a launch title on the on the 360. I was going to say old 360, but it's just the 360, But yeah.
Yep.
So graphics-wise, it's not great, but the
old
mechanics...
360.
The oldie 360. But with that one being finished, it will be the last 360 game I'm going to play on this tag, hopefully, that isn't backwards compatible, which means I can mothball my not mothball, but just put my 360 upstairs so that it's not in the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be happy when I get through my 360 games as well. I'm making a good dent, though. I completed my mission to play my 4 games last month.
Yeah, you're making good headway.
2 was the last one, and
this month.
And I am nearly through my 2 long ones for this month, because for this month I was going to do Rogue, Black Flag, White Knight, and Never Alone. And White Knight and Never Alone are short.
And then hopefully we'll do some Sunset Overdrive.
Hopefully we'll do some of that too. And so I'm 10 days in here, because I had a few days off for the 4th of July. So I finished Rogue in like a long weekend. And
that was a really good timing.
Yeah.
For
and
your
you
5
got to
days
finish
off.
seriously.
Thank God.
And then I got a good start on Black Flag, and so right now, currently, I've completed everything for Black Flag except for the multiplayer, and we're going to be working on the multiplayer. Which takes a little while
to do. That's the other thing I liked about Rogue, was there was no multiplayer, and it's like Kenway's fleet trading system is not based on an online server.
Right.
Which was nice, because it meant that... Because the in-game single-player servers were always on and off for me on Black Flag.
Yeah.
So you'd go to Kenway's fleet to try and sort something out, and then it would not be signed in.
Yeah, I never had a problem with that.
It might be because my connection's wireless, or I'm in the UK. Not saying that the UK is bad connection, but maybe Ubisoft isn't as proactive about making sure it's working properly.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. But point being, that's pretty much done, because I've done the entirety of the main campaign and Freedom Cry, and so now all I've got is the multiplayer stuff, and so we'll be getting on to do some Wolfpack soon, as soon as we finish this, actually.
Yes, because we were going to attempt to play it while we were recording and then decided it was too much effort.
Yeah, there's too much coordination involved in trying to get synchronized kills and stuff.
So my plans for the rest of the month, I think I'm going to try and finish my 360 games now that I'm more motivated. So Dead Space, Operation Flashpoint, and Tron Evolution will be the games with gold in 5 days time. So I will see how I get on trying to get those done. And then all I'll have left is my Xbox One games. I'm still hoping that the DLC for Lords of the Fallen will go on sale.
I hope so too. I
But
wish it would.
It's only £6 in the end. So
Yeah.
I may just get on and get it. And then when I
Not
get
too
it, it will
bad.
go on sale the next week.
Yeah. Well, we picked up a few things on the Ultimate Game Sale. You got Metro Redux bundle.
Metro, yeah. Yeah, the Redux bundles, so 2033, Last Light, Rise, and Terraria.
Mm-hmm. And
For £25, which I think for 4 games is a good price.
Yeah, not bad at all. And I picked up the Rise Legendary Edition, so we can do that co-op. The Dragon Age Inquisition Game of the Year version.
I'm looking forward to you getting to the Trespasser DLC.
Mm-hmm. You know, because I have a playthrough on here that I half finished.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking I could go back and re-record just the main missions and stuff and just do that as a playthrough and not show all the side quest stuff and the messing
conversations at Skyhold.
And the messing around the different environments trying to collect things and level up and all that stuff. So I could just record the main playthrough.
That would be cool.
And it'll be better graphically because it'll be the Xbox One version. So I may do that to try to, finish up Inquisition in a way.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you'll do it on the hardest difficulty and do one playthrough?
Yeah, most likely.
Nice.
I will do that.
Knight Enchanter for the win.
Woohoo! Yeah, Knight Enchanter is awesome.
Yeah.
So I picked up that, and then I also picked up Layers of Fear, which is a horror title.
I always think of Layers of Joy. It's a little chocolate trifle dessert thing that I have on a regular basis. It's Layers of Joy has gone bad.
And now it's called Layers of Fear.
Instead of chocolate and cream, it's sadness and despair.
Yeah, and death and decay. So I don't really know a whole lot about it, except it's supposed to be pretty good. And
I think I watched an Achievement Hunter Let's Play of it ages ago, and it seemed like it would be up your street, so...
Yeah. From everything I knew about it, it looked like it would be something that I would like, so it was on sale, and I'm like, yep. So I will play that, at some point within the next millennium. So...
Yeah. So all in all, some good, some bad, and some ugly, I guess, from what we've played.
Yeah. So we have the rest of the month here to pick up the rest of the things that we were hoping to do. And again, hopefully we will be doing these more frequently. That way we can, be able to, as we did, go into more depth about certain things and not feel like we're rushing through them and that kind of thing. So that about wraps it up then. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you in the next one.
Goodbye.